Imagine awakening a forbidden code that reshapes your destiny. Ancient mysteries concealed in everyday life, ready to turn your mind into a magnet for miracles. As you absorb this audiobook, you'll reveal the hidden truths. Your ideas are dynamic energies that echo across the cosmos, forging your world. Embrace your position as an intentional architect and access the timeless principles that rule all being. Metaphysics. Introduction. In the core of reality past, the limits of tangible vision lies a web of cosmic rules. Timeless, unalterable, and always active. These rules function with flawless accuracy, directing every element of the universe from the whirl of particles to the symphony of stars. You are poised on the edge of grasping these holy guidelines, prepared to breach the barrier dividing the visible from the invisible. The insights you're about to gain have illuminated the most enlightened souls across eras. It describes a cosmos that reacts not to randomness, but to awareness, where mind molds existence with the reliability that magnetism attracts iron. This insight shows that your ideas are not just neural sparks, but potent energies that wave through the structure of reality itself. As you rise to these revelations, you'll realize you are not simply a bystander in this immense universal ballet. You are an originator gifted with the identical inventive power that forms constellations and carves planets. The cosmos, in its boundless insight, has embedded in you the ability to channel these concealed streams of force. Via the mastery of metaphysical rule, you'll master directing the powers of idea and resonance. These are not enchanted illusions, but actionable facts proven by predecessors. The old sages knew that existence is not rigid but malleable, adapting to the wavelength of your ideas and the strength of your convictions. This understanding surpasses the confines of material knowledge, uncovering a profound system where idea precedes shape and awareness forges reality. As you adopt these tenets, you claim your proper role as an intentional architect in the cosmic blueprint. Part 1. Igniting the Latent Forces. Inside. Chapter 1. The Timeless Guide to Existence. In the echoes of history, there existed an explorer who roamed through lost territories. One evening, as dusk stretched over forgotten ruins, the explorer unearthed a sanctuary, whose stones carried the scars of endless cycles. Inside its hushed halls rested a guide, its borders worn, and its face etched with enigmatic signs. At initial view, it appeared to point to oblivion. But as the explorer examined its complex designs, clarity emerged. The guide disclosed not remote regions, but the unseen routes that form our realm. The cosmos functions via principles more nuanced than those ruling physical substance. Just as the explorer found trails obscured in open view, you also exist amid boundless opportunity awaiting acknowledgement. These energies, idea, vitality, and awareness build the base of all formation. Your intellect, like a prism bending rays, gathers vitality into structure. Each idea waves through the weave of reality, pulling situations that align with its wavelength. This is not simple theory, but the core process by which existence appears. The realm you encounter is not static, but adaptable, reacting to the hidden energies of your awareness. In a remote meadow resided a painter who devoted decades to honing her art. One afternoon, she acquired a blank canvas. Others perceived only emptiness, but in her inner sight, she envisioned limitless options. With each mindful stroke, each purposeful motion, the canvas evolved under her fingers. Blankness surrendered to splendor, disorder submitted to harmony. The painter formed not just art, but existence itself via the strength of her imagination. Like the explorer who revealed fresh roots where others saw barren land, and the painter who unveiled beauty in empty space, you hold the power to form your existence. The guide you pursue resides in your awareness, and the canvas of your life expects your brush. Every situation, every state in your life echoes the gathered effect of your ideas and convictions. Ancient practice of renewal. Seek a serene area where you stay uninterrupted for 5 minutes daily. Sit in reflection on the invisible energies molding your being. With notebook and pen, note 3 elements of your life you desire to renew. Allow your writing to flow with the same purposeful aim as the painter crafting her masterpiece. This ritual, inherited from lineages of truth seekers, stirs your recognition of the inventive strength residing within you. As you inscribe, understand that each phrase holds the germ of renewal. Like the explorer's guide, your scripted aims uncover paths to fresh opportunities. Via this everyday ceremony, you harmonize with the cosmic energies that form reality, becoming aware of your position as originator in the magnificent blueprint. Chapter 2. Removing the Shroud of Deception. In a hamlet tucked amid timeless peaks, there dwelled an individual similar to you, who donned a set of unusual spectacles. These spectacles, handed down over ages, were thought to shield the gaze from danger. Yet, unbeknownst to the resident, these lenses threw a dull haze over the landscape, converting lively blossoms to ghosts and radiant dawn to faint dusk. For ages, the resident embraced this subdued existence as fact, until one dawn when a soft wind dislodged the spectacles from their visage. In that instant, the landscape exploded in hues so splendid, so vibrant, that streams of delight cascaded down their face. You likewise wear unseen lenses fashioned from convictions gathered along your path. These convictions, like the resident's spectacles, sift your view of existence. Life is tough. You may ponder, or triumph arrives only via hardship. Each idea adds another sheet of colored glass between you and the brilliant fact of being. The cosmos thrives in endless plenty, yet your convictions decide how much of this plenty streams into your life. When you proclaim "I cannot," or "it's unattainable," these ideas harden into obstacles as solid as any material wall. Your sensed restrictions become the edges of your realm. Within a trader's garden stood a splendid enclosure of jewels and gems. Inside resided a fowl of exceptional feathers, who chanted melodies of faraway places. The trader, convinced he provided the fowl the best dwelling, never grasped why its melodies bore tones of yearning. One day the fowl grew quiet, seeming dead at the enclosure's base. The trader, sorrow-filled, unlatched the enclosure gate, and in that moment, the fowl ascended to liberty, abandoning the jeweled barriers that had turned into its jail. Like this fowl, you might have embraced elegant restrictions, cozy convictions that nonetheless confine your capability. Your enclosure could be decorated with societal demands, traditional standards, or self-set limits that sparkle with the deceptive shine of safety. These adorned barriers of tradition murmur pleasant defenses, pressing you to stay within their known grasp. Yet liberty awaits in the basic act of probing these restraints, in venturing to examine if the obstacles that hold you are really as firm as they seem. Just as the fowl found what appears an unbreakable border may vanish the instant you gather the bravery to confront it. Sacred practice of freedom. Discover solitude in a peaceful area, shut your eyes, and summon one conviction you cling to firmly about yourself or the realm. Now envision softly discarding this conviction like the resident's spectacles. What shades arise in its lack? What opportunities emerge when this restriction fades? Grab your notebook and scribe openly about the fresh vistas that surface when this conviction no longer binds your sight. Via this ritual, inherited from those who comprehended the strength of view, you start to discern the gap between fact and the lenses through which you observe it. As you chronicle these revelations, you engage in an old custom of soulful freedom, the aware liberation of confining convictions. Chapter 3. The Supreme Rule of Vitality and Resonance. In the corridors of a timeless shrine, a teacher preserved a holy resonance tool transmitted over innumerable lineages. Each morning she would activate this enchanted device, and as its clean tone resounded, a remarkable change would happen. First, other resonance tools in the space would start to echo through, uncontacted by mortal touch. Then the shrine chimes would softly ring. The ritual vessels would vibrate, and even the atmosphere would appear to gleam with unseen harmony. The teacher grasped that this was not sorcery, but the innate rule of harmony in action. This resonance that permeates all is the pulse of the cosmos itself. Every idea you nurture, every sentiment you sense, every phrase you utter vibrates at its distinct frequency. These resonances expand outward into the universal sea-drawing encounters that correspond to their pitch. When you linger in anxiety, you adjust yourself to the frequency of shortage. When you emit delight, you sync with the resonance of plenty. The cosmos replies not to your phrases alone, but to the vitality mark you release, like hidden signals saturating the space around you. Innumerable frequencies coexist at once. Your awareness serves as the tuner, selecting particular channels via your dominant ideas and sentiments. In a far-off hill settlement dwelled a composer famous for her skill to produce harmony of sublime elegance. Those who listened to her perform described sensing elevated to domains of sheer brilliance. One day, a learner inquired about her mystery. She raised her tool and clarified, "Before I sound a lone note, I attune not merely the chords, but my whole essence. I sync my inhalation, my ideas, my core with the ideal tone that already dwells in the quiet. Only then does the harmony stream through me instead of from me." This insight discloses your part in the vast symphony of being. Like the composer, you must first calibrate yourself to the frequency of what you aim to form. The external balance you pursue commences with the internal resonance you sustain. Sacred resonance practice. Locate a tranquil area where you remain undisturbed. Sit easily with your back erect, permitting vitality to circulate freely. Commence by inhaling 3 profound breaths to ground yourself. Then, with mouth softly sealed, start to produce a single ongoing tone. Let this sound emerge organically, without compulsion. As you hold this resonance, picture it as a shimmering glow emanating from your core center, bearing your purest aims into the cosmic domain. Proceed for 5 minutes, sensing your whole essence syncing with the frequency of your loftiest dreams. Chapter 4. The concealed energies of the cosmos. In the midst of a boundless wilderness, where moments seemed to drift like leaves, there resided a keen watcher who observed something astounding. While others viewed only the shifting sands, this wise one discerned the hidden gusts that sculpted the terrain. Day by day, unseen flows would elevate specks of dust, transporting them in elaborate forms, altering the wilderness's visage, while most slumbered unaware. Just as these secret gusts form the wilderness, so do the concealed energies of idea, sentiment, and aim mold the terrain of your being. Each idea you shelter dispatches waves through the fabric of reality, like a zephyr stirring the face of calm liquid. Your sentiments act as the flow that grants these ideas their strength, while your aims steer their direction. These energies function with flawless accuracy, though they stay invisible to material eyes. Your ideas are the designers sketching the plans of potential. Your sentiments are the constructors imbuing these plans with essential vitality. Your aims are the expert artisan polishing and guiding this inventive force toward its final expression. In a faraway realm, there dwelled a weaver celebrated for producing fabrics of unparalleled grace. Guests to her atelier were baffled, for they could observe only her laboring with bare hands at her frame. Yet as time progressed, splendid designs would materialize in the cloth scenes so lively they appeared animate. Those who examined closely uncovered her mystery. She wove with strands of pure radiance unseen until they united to create the full image. Like this enigmatic weaver, you too labor with invisible substances. Every idea you conceive, every sentiment you experience, every aim you cling to is a strand in the fabric of your life. Though you may not witness these strands as they are interlaced, their impacts become apparent in the designs of your encounters. Sacred practice of the concealed energies. Discover a calm instant and shut your eyes. Envision 3 beams of glow coursing through your life. Golden idea, silver sentiment, and translucent aim. Watch how these beams have combined to form your current situations. In your notebook, chronicle 3 recent encounters and follow how your ideas, sentiments, and aims added to their appearance. This ritual uncovers the secret structure of your reality, enabling you to interlace your future with heightened awareness. Chapter 5. The Internal Realm. In the highlands of a timeless territory, a fatigued voyager sought shelter in an enigmatic shrine. Within its barrier stood a reflector unlike any other. Its face undulated like fluid declining to display the Voyager's bodily shape. Instead, it showed meadows when the Voyager felt calm tempests, when dread seized their core, and golden glow when delight permeated their soul. Through this reflector, the Voyager realized that their internal condition colored the realm they discerned. You hold such a reflector within the inventive force that casts your internal reality into the external realm. Every idea you foster, every sentiment you nurture becomes the plan for your encounters. The external realm yields to the dominion of your internal kingdom, mirroring with flawless accuracy the condition of your awareness. This reflector-like trait of being functions through unchangeable cosmic rule. When you sow ideas of shortage, the reflector mirrors scarcity. When you nurture thankfulness, plenty flowers in your encounter. Your internal realm is the chief artist painting reality with the hues of your prevailing ideas and sentiments. In a lush valley resided a cultivator who comprehended this fact. Each dawn before sowing physical grains, she would first sow grains of aim in the ground of her awareness. She understood that the caliber of her internal meadow decided the yield of her external one. Those who observed her labor wondered at how her yields thrived beyond reason, unaware that she cared first for the invisible foundations of formation. Like this astute cultivator, your internal condition is the lush ground from which all encounters sprout. The ideas you hydrate with focus, the sentiments you enrich with conviction, these become the harvests you reap in your everyday life. Every outer situation you meet first germinated from a grain planted in your awareness. Through the epochs, those who have commanded plenty grasp this deep fact that your intellect is an everlasting meadow ever prepared to foster the grains of your selecting. When you care for this internal haven with diligence and insight, filling it with ideas of thankfulness and prosperity, your external realm cannot but mirror this wealth back to you in innumerable unforeseen ways. Sacred practice of internal nurturing. Sit in quietness and picture your awareness as a broad meadow. Select 3 affirmative sentiments you wish to nurture, perhaps delight, calm, and plenty. Inscribe these down, then shut your eyes and envision each sentiment as a grain of glow rooting within you. Visualize how these expanding sentiments would renew your external realm, painting fresh opportunities onto the canvas of reality. This ritual syncs your internal and external realms, activating the inventive force that forms your encounter. Chapter 6. The Restricted Insight of Idea. In a secluded abbey atop the highlands, a student uncovered a faded parchment concealed within a rock niche. As he cautiously unfurled the old document, luminous emblems began to shine, disclosing mysteries transmitted by the experts of appearance. The parchment described idea as the link between the shapeless and the shaped, the invisible and the visible. You stand now at this identical brink of revelation, for the strength that the parchment disclosed dwells within you. Idea is not merely a passive watcher of reality. It is the active force through which the cosmic intellect expresses itself in shape. When you guide your ideas with steadfast concentration, you trigger the inventive principle that converts the unseen into the seen. This conversion happens through exact cosmic rule. Just as radiance journeys in direct paths, idea advances with precise accuracy toward its goal. Each idea you hold becomes a signal attracting to you the situations, individuals, and chances that match its frequency. The cosmos replies not to dispersed desires but to ideas maintained steady with clear aim. Along a turbulent shore stood a beacon, its ray slicing through gloom and mist. Night after night, the guardian upheld its glow with devoted care, knowing that innumerable existences relied on its unswerving direction. Vessels distant at ocean discovered their route to secure haven, pulled by this singular point of concentrated glow. Your intellect is such a beacon. Each idea you sustain becomes a ray of inventive vitality, guiding the vessels of appearance toward your haven of reality. Like the beacon guardian, you must attend to this glow with alertness and intent. Scattered, unfocused ideas generate confusion in the waters of appearance, but a singular idea held firm with clarity and assurance lights the path for your wishes to arrive. Sacred practice of guided idea. Locate a peaceful area and retrieve paper and pen. Inscribe one clear aim, not a roster of desires, but a lone purpose you wish to appear. Shut your eyes and concentrate wholly on this aim for 5 minutes, viewing it not as a forthcoming potential, but as a current reality. Sense the fact of its completion in every part of your essence. This concentrated ray of idea unlocks the portal between the unseen and the seen, permitting your aim to assume shape in the material realm. Chapter 7. The Holy Strength of Conviction. In a remote gorge there resided a restorer whose palms bore no remedies, whose racks contained no plants. Instead, she brandished the most powerful cure known to the ancients, the strength of total conviction. Those who arrived at her threshold, shattered in form and soul, met only her unyielding certainty in their completeness. Through her gaze they caught sight of themselves as already restored, already complete, and thus it transpired that under her guardianship, the immobile moved, the sightless viewed, and those afflicted by ailment discovered themselves healed. You hold this identical renewing strength within you. Conviction stands as the bedrock upon which all formation rests. It is not simply optimistic thinking, but the profoundest knowing, a force that exceeds the boundaries of material reality. When you genuinely convince, you sync with the inventive force of the cosmos itself. Your convictions act as the invisible framework of your life, forming every encounter, every result. They function beyond the domain of reason, beyond the borders of what others consider feasible. The cosmos replies not to what you desire, but to what you convince in the depths of your essence. In the old empires of the Orient, there resided a fighter who confronted a legion of multitudes solitary. While others perceived assured loss, he clung to an immovable conviction in his success. As he positioned before the immense armies arrayed against him, his conviction emitted with such strength that it modified the fabric of reality itself. The rival legion, detecting this force, set down their arms and proclaimed him their commander. His conviction had renewed not only his own reality, but the reality of multitudes. These tales reflect your own voyage. Every situation you confront, every obstacle that ascends before you, yields to the strength of your convictions. Like the restorer who viewed only completeness, you can opt to see past present boundaries. Like the fighter who faced improbable chances, you can cling steadfast to your internal knowing, even when outer proof suggests otherwise. Sacred practice of conviction. Take a serene instant to fashion an assertion that embodies your most treasured conviction about yourself and your place in the cosmos. Inscribe it down with clarity and intent, sensing the gravity of each phrase as your pen glides across the page. Let this declaration echo the highest fact you hold about your divine essence and boundless potential. For 7 days, utter this assertion aloud at daybreak and twilight, permitting its fact to echo through every strand of your essence. Sense its strength surging through your veins, with each utterance implanting itself into the very core of who you are. Let each repetition fortify the bedrock of your conviction, converting it from a mere idea into an unshakable knowing that directs your every stride. As you engage this holy ceremony, watch how your selected phrases begin to form not only your ideas, but the very reality that unfolds before you. Chapter 8. The Tongue of the Cosmos. In an era past recollection, a nomad traversed old trails through fog-veiled highlands. Each dawn she encountered odd inscriptions carved in rock, a coil here, a curve there. Though their significance escaped her aware intellect, something deeper roused within her spirit. Pursuing these enigmatic markers, she found herself directed to vital fountains, protecting grottos, and ultimately to a concealed gorge where guardians of insight had safeguarded holy knowledge across ages. You tread a comparable trail. The cosmos communicates to you through a complex tongue of emblems and significant alignments. These are not simple haphazard happenings, but strands in the fabric of divine exchange. When you observe repeating digits, creatures traversing your route, or visions that resonate through your alert hours, you glimpse the cosmic conversation striving to lead you. These emblems spring from the shared awareness, speaking in a tongue elder than phrases. A leaf drifting down before you, bears significance beyond its bodily shape. The repeated emergence of specific designs or images acts as heavenly markers pointing you toward your loftiest trail. In the domain of visions, a young individual found that her nocturnal sights held communications about her daily existence. She observed how liquid in her visions preceded sentimental scenarios, while avians announced crucial tidings. As she mastered decoding these symbolic communications, her life renewed. The visions became a link between her aware intellect and the boundless insight of the cosmos. Like this visionary, you hold the innate skill to comprehend this holy tongue. The emblems appearing in your life create a distinctive conversation between you and the divine. When you observe the same image surfaces thrice in a day or undergo a sequence of seemingly improbable alignments, the cosmos invites you to attend. These synchronicities serve as affirmation that you tread in harmony with cosmic forces, a holy validation of your trail. They manifest most often when you position at the brink of notable change, or when you need divine direction, appearing as repeating digits, meaningful meetings, or murmured communications born on the breeze. By recognizing and interpreting these markers with honor and trust, you reinforce your link to the cosmic stream of insight. Like an old sage interpreting the heavens, you begin to identify the cosmos's personal tongue, a conversation as ancient as time itself, speaking directly to your rousing soul. Each synchronicity becomes a strand in the fabric of divine communication, interlacing you ever nearer to your highest intent. Sacred practice of emblem recognition. Establish a unique notebook devoted to noting the emblems and synchronicities that emerge in your life. Each day, record any repeating designs, meaningful alignments, or symbolic meetings. Inscribe your visions, giving special focus to repeating motifs or images. Contemplate the possible communications these emblems bear, permitting your intuition to lead your understanding. Through this ritual, you will cultivate fluency in the cosmos's holy tongue of markers. Chapter 9. The Domain of Boundless Opportunities. In a settlement that transcends the confines of moments, there dwelled a youth whose wonder shone brighter than the dawn star. One day, while probing the shadowed nooks of an old dwelling, the youth uncovered a curious portal. Unlike common portals that merely open to chambers or parks, this one appeared to glimmer with an ethereal radiance. When unlatched, it disclosed not a chamber, but an infinite stretch where all conceivable things coexisted simultaneously, a cosmic arena of endless opportunity. You too position before such a portal. The quantum domain extends before you, a vast sea of potential where all opportunities dwell in flawless balance. This domain reacts not to coercion or command, but to the tender contact of aware focus. Within it, every aspiration you've ever clung to dwells as a finished reality awaiting you to sync with its frequency. Like ripples in a lake, your ideas and sentiments generate waves in this boundless domain. Each vibration you release resonates with matching opportunities, pulling them from potential into appearance. The quantum domain recognizes no restrictions of moments or space. It simply exists, encompassing all that was, is, or might be. In another era, there resided an expert interweaver who positioned before a frame unlike any other. Instead of common thread, innumerable filaments of radiance extended before her, each signifying a distinct opportunity. With cautious aim, she chose specific filaments, interlacing them into a splendid fabric of reality. Some filaments shone with plenty, others sparkled with delight, and still others throbbed with the vitality of exploration. Just as the interweaver selects her filaments with intent, you pick the opportunities you wish to appear through your concentrated focus and sentimental harmony. The quantum domain replies to your selections, bringing forth the realities that align with your aware choice. Your life is this boundless arena waiting for you to probe its limitless potential. Every selection, every idea, every sentiment acts as a cue to the domain, summoning specific opportunities from the vast sea of potential. When you grasp this fact, restriction fades into the haze of deception it always was. Ancient practice of quantum harmony. Take an instant now to inscribe one heart's wish in your notebook. Shut your eyes and view this wish existing flawlessly in the quantum domain whole and awaiting your harmony. Sense the reality of its being, knowing it already dwells in the infinite arena of opportunity. Let your whole essence resonate with this fact, permitting yourself to sync with its frequency in the domain of all potential. Chapter 10. The Mystic's Mystery of Focus. In an era past memory there dwelled a transmuter in a spire of eroded rock. Each day he labored over his containers and receptacles trying to convert basic elements into treasure. Yet triumph evaded him until he uncovered an old scroll that disclosed the true mystery. The renewal he pursued outside could only appear through internal shift. You, like this transmuter, hold the strength of renewal within. The key resides not in outer recipes or ornate ceremonies, but in the holy ritual of self-focus. Just as the transmuter learned to watch the subtle changes within his own awareness, you too must foster this internal vision. Focus acts as the philosopher's gem, converting the lead of unaware designs into the treasure of aware formation. When you beam the radiance of attention on your ideas, sentiments, and behaviors, you start an alchemical procedure that renews your entire reality. In the highlands of the Orient, there positioned a shrine containing an enigmatic reflector. Unlike common reflectors that displayed mere echoes, this one disclosed glimpses of forthcoming opportunities. Those who stared into it realized that the future they viewed altered according to their current state of focus. The more aware they became of their present designs, the more brilliant the future seemed. This reflector dwells within you, your capacity for self-contemplation. As you cultivate focus on your current condition, you acquire the strength to form what lies ahead. Each instant of aware watching plants grains that bloom into fresh opportunities. The strength to transmute your reality has always lived within. Like the transmuter who realized that his own awareness was the trigger for renewal. You possess the key to altering any facet of your life through the simple yet deep act of becoming aware. Ancient practice of design renewal. Locate a serene area and devote 5 minutes in thought. Watch a repeating design in your life that you wish to renew. Inscribe this design in your notebook, noting how it appears in your daily encounter. Then, with the focus of a transmuter, recognize one minor adjustment you can make to transmute this design. Chronicle this shift and pledge to enacting it, knowing that focus itself contains the strength of renewal. Part 2. Commanding the Enigmatic Energies. Chapter 11. The Universal Ballet of Origin and Outcome. In a valley unmarred by moments, a grower cared for his plots with remarkable diligence. Each dawn before the sun ascended, he would stroll among his sprouts, contacting each young plant with concentrated aim. Where others merely dispersed grains, he sowed each one with the invocation, picturing its expansion into plenty. When gathering season came, his plots produced fruits of uncommon magnitude and sweetness, far exceeding those of adjacent farms. You hold the same strength of purposeful formation. Every idea you sow, every sentiment you foster, and every deed you perform dispatches waves through the fabric of being. The cosmic rule of causation functions with flawless accuracy. Nothing happens by accident, and every outcome arises from a purposeful origin. Just as the grower's attentive care yielded extraordinary results, your aware focus forms the yield of your life. Each instant offers a chance to sow grains of aim that will flower into future realities. The rule of causation discloses that your present situations stem from prior ideas, sentiments, and deeds, while your current selections form what awaits. In a remote atelier, a shaper positioned before her circle. Unlike others who hastened to form their containers, she first grounded herself in quietness. With each contact, she imbued the substance with clear aim, grasping that her condition of essence would appear in her formation. The containers she crafted held a balance and elegance that seemed to exceed their earthly essence. Like this shaper, you form the material of your life through aware effort. Your hands rest upon the circle of formation in every instant. Through deliberate deed aligned with aim, you mold situations into desired shapes. The rule of causation guarantees that no genuine effort proceeds without outcome. Each aligned deed generates waves of affirmative shift, ancient practice of purposeful formation. Take an instant now to contemplate one objective you wish to appear. In your notebook, inscribe a lone deed you can perform today that aligns with this aim. Contemplate deeply on how this deed, when executed with aware focus, might generate waves of affirmative shift in your life and in the lives of others. Chronicle your revelations, knowing that this aware stride initiates a sequence of causation directing toward your desired result. Chapter 12. The Reflector Principle. In the core of an old woodland, a weary nomad uncovered a concealed pond, its face as smooth as refined obsidian. As they neared to satisfy their thirst, they observed something unusual. The liquid displayed not their bodily shape, but the turmoil of unease that swirled within them. The echo rippled with somber clouds and chaotic waters mirroring their internal disturbance. Clarity dawned as they observed their echo alter with each passing sentiment. When peace permeated their core, the pond showed a tranquil dawn. When delight surged, blooms flourished across its face. You exist in a cosmos that functions as this enchanted pond. Every situation, connection, and encounter in your outer realm echoes the contents of your inner domain. This reflector principle discloses why two individuals can meet the same circumstance yet encounter it differently. Each discerns through the prism of their internal condition. The outer realm serves as a loyal reflector, displaying you precisely what vibrates within. When you meet plenty, it echoes your internal sense of merit. When you encounter opposition, it reveals where uncertainty or dread resides in your awareness. Nothing dwells in your encounter that does not first dwell within you. In a sun-drenched workshop, an artisan positioned before a vacant surface, eyes sealed in meditation. Rather than examining reference substances, she depicted purely from the visions in her intellect. Those who beheld her completed work spoke of their extraordinary strength, how each piece seemed to seize not just exteriors, but the very core of its theme. The artisan grasped that her depictions echoed not what her eyes observed, but what her core discerned. Like this artisan, you depict your reality through your discernments and convictions. The realm you encounter is not an impartial reality, but an echo of your awareness cast outward. When you alter your internal terrain, the reflector of life cannot but echo this shift. This grasp places the strength of renewal firmly in your grasp. Ancient practice of echo. Take your notebook and inscribe about one circumstance in your life that brings discontent. Look deeply into this reflector. What internal conviction or sentiment might it be echoing back to you? Recognize the inner adjustment you can make to renew this outer echo. Chronicle both the external circumstance and the corresponding internal condition you wish to shift, knowing that as you modify the inner, the outer must pursue. Chapter 13. The Strength of Current Instant Formation. High in the highlands, a ascetic uncovered an old altar sealed with a peculiar fastener. Unlike common fasteners that demanded keys, this one carried an engraving. Only those who reside fully in the everlasting now may proceed. For years, the ascetic tried to unlatch it through reflection, invocation, and learning, yet the portal stayed sealed. One day, as he positioned before the altar, he liberated all ideas of history and forthcoming, yielding completely to the present instant. In that moment of pure existence, the fastener dissolved, disclosing chambers brimming with riches beyond fantasy. You hold this same strength to unlatch the riches of being through existence. The present instant stands as the sole point where formation happens, where the boundless potential of the cosmos collapses into manifest reality. When you wander into recollections of the past or visions of the forthcoming, you forsake your throne of inventive strength. Your ideas, sentiments, and aims interweave in the now to form the fabric of your encounter. Like three streams merging into a powerful river, these forces unite only in the present instant to shape your reality. The past dwells as recollection, the forthcoming as potential, but the present acts as the workshop where you craft your life. In a mystical park, moments halted as a moth lingered between blossoms. In this paused instant, infinite opportunities existed. Would it select the bloom or the petal, left or right? Each selection would wave through reality, forming new trails, new designs, new fates. Yet only in that exact instant of existence could the moth exercise its strength to select, to form, to renew. This moth's instant mirrors your own being. Each present instant contains boundless potential awaiting your aware guidance. When you scatter your vitality between past remorse and future concerns, you surrender your strength to form reality now. But when you assemble yourself fully in the present, you access the same inventive force that rotates galaxies and unfolds blossoms. Sacred practice of existence. Locate a serene area and settle into a comfortable stance. For 5 minutes, concentrate solely on your inhalation, the gentle ascent and descent, the rhythm of life streaming through you. As you inhale, bring your aims into this holy space of now. Sense them assuming shape in the present instant, converting from potential into reality through the strength of your existence. Let each inhalation secure you more deeply in the everlasting now, where all formation emerges. Chapter 14. Sentiments as the bridge. In the core of an old settlement resided a forger whose furnace contained an enigmatic mystery. While other artisans battled to sustain their blazes, his burned with unearthly fervor. Those who observed him labor noted that when his zeal ignited, the flames of his furnace would spring higher, burning brighter than any natural blaze. The substance beneath his mallet yielded not just to bodily force, but to the pure sentimental vitality he infused into each formation. The bond between sentiment and appearance mirrors this holy furnace. Your feelings serve as the fuel that energizes the inventive process of the cosmos. When you imbue your aims with authentic sentiment, you activate a vibrational frequency that attracts corresponding encounters into your reality. Consider sentiment as the link between idea and shape. While ideas provide guidance, sentiments supply the vitality that converts opportunities into tangible encounters. Delight, affection, zeal, and thankfulness vibrate at frequencies that naturally pull similar encounters. These elevated sentimental states act as potent attractors, drawing to you situations that match their core. Yet many strive to appear while sentimentally detached, pondering why their efforts produce scant fruit. This resembles a forger laboring with cold embers. The fundamental elements are present, but without the renewing strength of heat, no enduring shift can occur. In the grand assembly hall of a distant metropolis, a performer realized the same fact through different means. Though technically adept, her shows left spectators untouched until she mastered infusing each tone with pure feeling. As she performed from her core, her harmony began to stir something deep within listeners. The vibrations of her sentimental expression resonated with their souls, forming tangible adjustments in their reality. Some discovered affection, others bravery, and many uncovered new trails in life, all roused by the sentiment frequency of her harmony. Your sentiments contain the same renewing strength. When you sync your feelings with your wishes, you form a harmony that the cosmos must respond to. Like the forger's furnace burning brightest with zeal, or the performer's tones bearing sentimental fact, your feelings amplify the inventive force of your aims. Sacred practice of sentimental harmony. Choose a serene instant in your day. Summon one sentiment you wish to amplify in your life. Perhaps delight, calm, or plenty. Now recall a specific instant when you naturally encountered this feeling. Permit yourself to fully relive this encounter. Note the sensations in your form, the ideas in your intellect, the vitality flowing through you. Let this sentiment fill your essence completely, knowing that as you nurture this feeling, you attract more encounters that match its vibration. Chapter 15. The Holy Craft of Picturing. In a time when avians dominated the heavens alone, there resided an innovator whose evenings were filled with sights of splendid soaring devices. While others viewed only impossibility, he devoted countless hours drafting plans that emerged in his vision's great constructs of timber and fabric that would bear humanity into the skies. Night after night he polished these sights until they became so vivid, He could contact them in his intellect sense, the wind beneath their spans, and hear the rush of air as they glided through vapors. Picturing holds the same inventive strength within your life. Just as the innovator's mental images preceded bodily reality, your ability to form vivid internal images forms the realm around you. The cosmos replies not to vague desires but to crystal-clear mental plans imbued with unswerving certainty. When you shut your eyes and depict detailed pictures in your intellect, you activate the same neural roots that engage during bodily encounter. Your mind cannot differentiate between a vividly pictured event and one that has truly happened. This is why picturing practiced with devotion and clarity becomes a potent instrument for appearance. Far across storm-swept oceans, a mariner once embarked to uncover territories that appeared on no chart. Without maps to lead him, he depended solely on the crystal-clear vision he clung to in his intellect of distant coasts. Each dawn he would stand at the command eyes sealed, picturing not just the endpoint, but every detail of the voyage, the feel of the salt mist, the sound of waves shattering against the front, the sight of exotic avians circling overhead. Through innumerable tempests and trials, this unswerving mental image directed him true, until at last, the very coasts he had pictured arose from the morning haze. Like this mariner, you hold the strength to chart courses toward wishes that exist first in fantasy. The clarity of your mental picture decides the accuracy of your voyage. When you involve all your senses in picturing, seeing, hearing, feeling, even tasting and smelling your desired reality, you form a template that the cosmos can follow. Sacred picturing practice. Locate a serene area as daybreak arrives each morning. Shut your eyes and summon one specific wish you aim to appear. View it in vivid detail as though it dwells now in this instant. Sense the sentiments it evokes, hear the sounds linked with it. Contact its texture in your intellect. Breathe life into this vision until it feels as real as the seat beneath you. Cling to this image with unswerving concentration for 5 minutes, knowing that what you view in your mind's eye holds the grain of bodily appearance. Chapter 16. Channeling the Holy Vitality Stream. In a gorge untouched by moments, a stream etched its route through old rock, moving with the rhythms of the ground. This stream never battled or fought against barriers. Instead, it simply streamed around them, converting obstacles into fresh channels for its voyage. Where the stream contacted life, prospered trees extended their roots to sip from its water's blooms, flourished along its edges, and beings assembled in its tender embrace. The cosmos moves with this same effortless elegance. Like the stream, holy vitality streams continuously, nourishing all it contacts. When you sync with this sacred current, life ends being a battle and becomes a ballet of co-formation. To blend with this universal stream demands a basic adjustment in awareness. Liberate the deception of control and yield to the greater insight that moves through all things. Your ideas, like rocks in the streambed, can either interrupt the stream or guide it toward fresh opportunities. Through reflection and aware focus, you learn to recognize when you're moving with or against this holy current. Just as liquid finds its level naturally, your life syncs with its loftiest intent when you cease opposition. The cosmos does not coerce or thrust, it streams. Your role is not to force things to occur, but to permit yourself to be born by this infinite current of opportunity. In a grand performance space, a performer moved across the platform, her motions so perfectly synced with the melody that it seemed the tune streamed from her rather than the ensemble. She did not tally steps or plan her motions. She had yielded completely to the rhythm, becoming one with the melody itself. In those instants, there was no division between performer and performance, between motion and melody. She had uncovered the mystery of effortless formation through perfect harmony. Like this performer, you too can move in balance with the universal stream. When you calibrate yourself to the subtle currents of holy vitality, your deeds become effortless expressions of higher intent. You no longer thrust against life, but stream with it, permitting your wishes to appear naturally through your harmony with cosmic forces. Sacred stream practice. Locate a serene area and settle into a comfortable stance. Shut your eyes and picture yourself as a stream flowing smoothly and effortlessly toward your wishes. Sense the cool, clear waters of cosmic vitality moving through you, dissolving any obstacles in your path. For 5 minutes, sustain this picturing, permitting yourself to blend completely with the stream. Note how opposition melts away as you yield to the natural current of life. Chapter 17. Surpassing Uncertainty and Opposition. In a far-off highland settlement, a voyager bore a massive bundle upon their shoulders. Though the settlers offered to assist in lightening their burden, the voyager gripped the bundle tighter, asserting they required every item within. Day after day they plodded through the paths bent under the mass, growing more weary with each stride. The bundle held not treasure or valuable stones, but rocks of concern, uncertainty and dread, each one gathered along their voyage, each one considered too vital to liberate. You bear similar burdens. These invisible masses, uncertainty about your skills, fears of the unfamiliar opposition to shift, block the natural stream of cosmic vitality. Like a barrier across a stream, they hinder the free motion of inventive force through your life. The cosmos seeks to deliver you all you wish, yet these internal obstacles restrain its gifts. When you clasp tightly to uncertainty, you cue to the cosmos that you favor the familiar mass of restriction to the unknown opportunity of liberty. Your opposition becomes a self-realizing forecast forming the very battles you dread. The law of attraction replies not to your desires, but to your deepest convictions and sentiments. High above the highland summits, a young avian perched in its lair, observing others glide through the vapors. Though its spans were robust and fully shaped, dread kept it tied to the security of the lair. Each dawn it would extend its spans, prepared to take flight, only to retract at the last instant, until one day, a gentle zephyr elevated the avian from its perch. For a moment, panic seized its core. Then something extraordinary transpired. Its spans captured the wind, and suddenly it was soaring, borne effortlessly by the same airflows it had dreaded. Like this avian, you hold everything needed to glide. The cosmos supports you wholly, offering invisible currents of vitality to elevate you toward your aspirations. Trust substitutes effort when you liberate the mass of uncertainty. Faith becomes the spans that bear you beyond perceived restrictions. Liberation practice. Take a sheet of paper and inscribe one uncertainty or dread that weighs heavily upon your spirit. Cling to the paper in your hands and sense the mass of this restriction. Now, in a symbolic act of liberation, tear the paper into tiny fragments. As you do this, encounter the lightness that accompanies letting go. Sense the liberty in your form and spirit as you liberate this burden, opening yourself to the boundless stream of cosmic vitality. Chapter 18. The Overlooked Rule of Exchange. In a thriving bazaar, there resided a vendor whose modest stall contained humble goods. Each dawn he distributed his morning meal with famished young ones who assembled near his entrance. When nomads passed through without means to compensate, he provided them provisions for their voyage, requesting nothing in exchange. Other vendors labeled him imprudent, cautioning that his liberality would lead to downfall. Yet something enigmatic began to transpire. The more freely he bestowed, the more plenty streamed into his life. His racks stayed stocked despite his bestowing. Patrons emerged at exactly the right instance, delivering precisely what he required. His modest stall became renowned as a site where wonders of exchange happened daily. You position at this same intersection of cosmic rule. The stream of plenty pursues eternal tenets that exceed human reason. When you bestow with an open core, you form space for acquiring. This is not mere deal but renewal, a holy ballet with the cosmos itself. Bestowing triggers the rule of circulation, much like respiration. Just as you must exhale to form space for fresh air, bestowing forms spiritual space for new plenty to enter. Your liberality cues trust in the boundless nature of cosmic provision. Consider the grower who grasps this fact deeply. In springtime, he takes his most cherished possession, his grains, and liberates them into the soil. He does not clasp them fearfully, hoarding them for scarce times. Instead, he scatters them with delight, knowing that each grain holds the vow of multiplied yield. The ground replies to his trust with plenty, returning a yield far greater than what was sown. This natural rule functions in every facet of being. Whether you bestow attention, affection, time, knowledge, or material assets, the cosmos mirrors your liberality. But attachment to results obstructs this stream. Bestow, because your core leads you not to control outcomes. Bestowing practice. Select one meaningful way to express liberality today. This might be sharing your time with someone in need, offering genuine words of appreciation, or bestowing something of material worth. Let your core guide you to an act of bestowing that feels authentic and synced with your spirit. As you bestow, note the feeling it forms within you, the warmth that spreads through your chest, the lightness in your stride, the subtle adjustment in your vitality. Take time to inscribe about your encounter in detail, focusing not on what you might acquire in yield, but on the pure delight of participating in the cosmic stream of bestowing and acquiring. Attend to how this simple act links you to the greater ballet of plenty that moves through all of life. Chapter 19. The Golden Strand of Faith. In a secluded highland settlement, a tailor labored tirelessly at her frame, interlacing an elaborate fabric. Unlike other interweavers who utilized ordinary strands, she integrated a single golden filament that seemed to shimmer with its own radiance. Though invisible to most gazes, this strand held the entire work together, forming designs of extraordinary elegance. Through life's voyage, faith acts as this golden strand, the unseen force that binds aim to appearance. When you foster unswerving faith, you interlace a bridge between the visible and invisible domains, permitting cosmic forces to labor through you. The strength of faith exceeds mere conviction. It is the foundation upon which all formation rests, the base that supports every aspiration and wish. Without faith, aims scatter like leaves in the gust. With faith, they root and thrive. Picture a mariner traversing vast seas in ancient eras. No modern tools guide his craft. Only the eternal heavens above illuminate his route. In darkness and tempest, when vapors obscure his celestial leads, his faith in their constant existence keeps him steady. He knows that beyond the temporary shroud of vapors, the heavens continue their eternal ballet, unaltered by his inability to view them. You too navigate by unseen forces. The cosmos functions through perfect rules, whether you discern them or not. Your faith in these tenets acts as your guide, steering you through periods of ambiguity toward your desired endpoint. The mariner does not form the heavens. He simply trusts their direction. Similarly, your faith does not form cosmic rules, but syncs you with their strength. When uncertainty clouds your vision, recall that the rules of appearance continue laboring, just as gravity functions, whether you convince in it or not. Faith practice. Choose an area of your life where uncertainty has formed opposition, perhaps in connections, vocation choices, or personal expansion. Inscribe it down with clarity and sincerity, probing the specific fears and ambiguities that cloud your vision. Then craft a personal invocation that affirms your trust in the cosmic procedure, one that resonates deeply with your spirit and speaks to your highest fact. For example, divine insight leads me even when the trail is unclear, or I trust the perfect unfolding of cosmic rule in my life. Repeat this invocation whenever ambiguity arises, permitting faith to illuminate your voyage like starlight on dark waters. Let each repetition reinforce your link to the invisible forces that lead you, just as mariners of old found their way by trusting in the eternal ballet of celestial forms. When the tempests of uncertainty threaten to pull you off course, your invocation becomes an anchor tethering you to cosmic fact. Chapter 20. The Ceremonies of Appearance. In the days of yore, a guardian tended to her community through holy rites that marked the cycling of seasons. Each rite she executed the igniting of blazes at winter, turning the sanctifying of grains at spring, sowing the yield offerings in autumn, formed a bridge between ground and heaven, linking her people to the natural rhythms of being. Through these old rituals, you uncover a fundamental fact: ceremony acts as a gateway between worlds, converting ordinary deeds into channels of strength. When you imbue deliberate motion with sacred aim, you speak directly to the cosmos in its own symbolic tongue. Your ideas and wishes gain momentum through ceremony, solidifying from ethereal desires into tangible reality. Each ceremonial deed serves as an anchor grounding your aims in the bodily domain, while elevating your awareness to higher vibrations. An artisan once forged amulets of extraordinary strength. As his mallet struck substance, he imbued each blow with concentrated aim. The bodily act of forging became a sacred ballet. Each strike, each fold, each cooling in holy waters converted base substance into vessels of divine vitality. His labor transcended mere craftsmanship, becoming a bridge between aim and appearance. Like the artisan's furnace, your ceremonies convert vitality through concentrated deed. The objects you utilize, candles, gems, scripted phrases, become conduits for cosmic forces. The strength lies not in the items themselves, but in the meaning you imbue them with, and the intentional way you engage with them. Ceremony syncs your entire essence, form, intellect, and soul with your wishes. Through ceremonial ritual, you declare to the cosmos your readiness to acquire. Each ceremony becomes an instant of sacred union, where your aims merge with cosmic inventive forces. Sacred practice. Form a ceremony space where you won't be interrupted. Place a candle at its core. Inscribe your aim clearly on paper, concentrating on the sentiment and vitality you wish to appear. Ignite the candle with honor, viewing its flame as divine radiance illuminating your trail. Cling to the paper with both hands, infusing it with your wish. When prepared safely, burn the paper in the candle's flame, liberating your aim to cosmic forces. As the paper converts to ash, know your wish has been acquired by the cosmos. Close your ceremony by expressing thankfulness. Part 3. Becoming the Designer of Reality. Chapter 21. Entering Holy Dominion. In a faraway realm, a youthful sovereign inherited a sacred rod, transmitted through generations. Though the rod held immense strength, the sovereign wielded it recklessly, ordering without insight. The realm endured under hasty edicts, until an old wise one appeared at court. "The rod mirrors your inner condition," the wise one murmured. "Its strength streams not from gold and jewels, but from the insight of the one who clings to it." Through patient leading, the sovereign learned to look within before issuing commands, to evaluate consequences before taking deed. As inner insight expanded, the realm flourished. You hold this same holy dominion over your reality. Like the sacred rod, your strength to form stems not from external forces, but from the insight cultivated within. Each idea, each decision, each aim acts as an edict forming the realm of your life. In accepting this dominion, you step into harmony with cosmic forces. No longer a passive watcher, you become an active participant in formation. This strength requires both assurance and modesty. Assurance in your ability to form, modesty in recognizing yourself as a channel for cosmic vitality. In another time, a cultivator inherited a parcel of barren ground. Others viewed only dust and rock, but the cultivator envisioned paradise. Day by day, this visionary nurtured the soil-sowed grains and tended young shoots with unswerving devotion. Through patient persistence, the wasteland converted into an oasis of plenty. Like this cultivator, you contain the strength to renew any facet of your life. Your ideas are grains, your attention the water that nourishes them, your persistence the force that allows them to thrive. The barren areas of your life await only your recognition of this inventive strength. Your dominion springs from your divine essence as a co-originator with cosmic forces. Just as the youthful sovereign learned to wield the rod with insight, you must learn to direct your inventive strength with aware awareness. Every instant offers an opportunity to exercise this sacred dominion through deliberate selection and concentrated aim. Sacred practice. Inscribe a declaration of empowerment, beginning with "I am the originator of my reality." Include specific areas where you opt to exercise your inventive dominion. Utter this declaration aloud each morning for 7 days, permitting its fact to echo through every facet of your essence. Sense the strength of your phrases as they form your encounter of reality. Chapter 22. The Gateway of Yielding. A mariner battled fierce gusts and towering swells, exhausting himself as he fought to sustain his chosen course. His muscles ached, his soul wavered, yet still he battled against nature's mighty force. In that instant of complete weariness, he recalled ancient insight transmitted by seafaring elders. When the tempest speaks, the wise mariner listens. Liberating his grip on the helm, he permitted the gust to lead his vessel. Rather than fighting the tempest, he became one with it. The craft found its way to a shielded inlet he would never have uncovered had he sustained his original course. In yielding, he found salvation. You too position at the helm of your life, often battling against forces that seem to oppose your chosen direction. Yet within this opposition lies a profound fact. The cosmos leads you toward your highest good, even when the trail appears threatening or unclear. True strength emerges not from constant control, but from knowing when to liberate it. This sacred craft of yielding syncs you with cosmic forces that orchestrate events beyond your limited perspective. Like water streaming around obstacles rather than crashing against them, yielding permits you to move effortlessly toward your destiny. In a distant territory, a performer prepared tirelessly for a royal show, practicing rigid motions with precise control. Yet something felt absent until she observed a leaf dancing in the gust. The leaf neither planned nor controlled its motion, instead flowing gracefully with each current of air. In that instant, she grasped true mastery, arrives not from imposing control, but from moving in balance with the melody. When she showed, she yielded to the tune, permitting it to move through her. The spectators witnessed not a mechanical display of skill, but a transcendent expression of pure artistry. Through yielding, she achieved what control alone could never accomplish. This fact applies to every facet of your existence. When you liberate your grip on how things should be, you open yourself to opportunities beyond fantasy. Yielding converts battle into stream, opposition into balance. The paradox of yielding lies in its strength. By liberating control, you gain access to forces far greater than your individual will. Like the mariner who found safe inlet and the performer who uncovered true artistry, you too will find that your greatest accomplishments arrive through yielding to the cosmic stream. Sacred practice. Devote 5 minutes. Picturing one area of your life where you feel stalled, perhaps a connection, vocation decision, or personal trial that weighs heavily on your core. Picture yourself clinging this situation tightly in your hands, sensing the tension in your fingers and the strain of sustaining control. Inhale deeply and slowly open your hands mentally, liberating your grip on how you convince things must unfold. Sense the immediate relief as you trust the cosmos to lead you toward the highest good, knowing that divine insight far exceeds your limited perspective. Permit yourself to encounter the profound peace that accompanies yielding, sensing the burden lifting from your shoulders as you let go of the need to orchestrate every detail. In this sacred space of liberation, note how your form relaxes and your intellect grows quiet, making room for cosmic grace to stream through you. Chapter 23. The Wise One's Concealed Insight. In the core of an old mountain chain, a nomad stumbled upon a hidden cavern. Within its depths sat a wise one, motionless as rock, yet radiating an otherworldly existence. The nomad waited in quiet, observing as the wise one remained deep in meditation. Days elapsed until finally the wise one's eyes opened, disclosing depths of insight that seemed to hold the cosmos itself. You have journeyed far seeking responses, the wise one uttered, yet what you seek has dwelled within you all along. You hold the same wellspring of insight, an inner wise one waiting to be uncovered in the quiet depths of your awareness. This timeless knowledge streams through you, speaking in whispers of intuition and visions. When you learn to listen, you tap into a guidance system more profound than any external source. Your inner wise one represents the accumulated insight of being itself, a direct link to cosmic intelligence. Like a receiver tuning into a frequency that has always been broadcasting, you need only adjust your awareness to acquire its guidance. This insight appears as that quiet knowing that precedes idea, that subtle feeling that leads you toward fact. In a distant realm, a young adventurer uncovered an ancient lantern. Unlike ordinary lights that dimmed in gloom, this lantern's flame burned brighter the deeper she bore it into the shadows. The darker her surroundings became, the more brilliantly the lantern illuminated her trail. She realized that the lantern's enchantment mirrored a cosmic fact. The light of inner insight shines strongest when you venture into the unknown depths of yourself. This lantern mirrors your own inner radiance. When you dare to probe the depths of your awareness, your inner insight grows stronger, illuminating trails that were previously concealed. Each instant of introspection, each journey inward, reinforces your link to this infinite source of guidance. Your life echoes this fact. Every trial invites you to turn inward to consult the wise one within. The responses you seek already dwell in the quiet sanctuary of your awareness, waiting to be uncovered through stillness and trust. Sacred practice. Locate a serene space where you will not be disturbed and gently shut your eyes. Take 3 deep centering inhalations, permitting each exhale to carry away the concerns of your outer realm. Now picture descending a winding staircase into the sacred depths of your essence, each step taking you deeper into the sanctuary of your inner insight. At the bottom, visualize meeting your inner wise one, a figure of profound insight and infinite compassion, who has awaited your arrival since the beginning of moments. This wise one may appear as radiance as a existence or in any shape that resonates with your soul. Present your current trial to this eternal aspect of yourself, and listen with your core to the guidance offered. Trust that the responses will arrive in their perfect shape, as phrases, feelings, images, or pure knowing. Devote 5 minutes in this sacred union, permitting the insight to stream naturally from within, like a crystal-clear spring emerging from the depths of the ground. When ready, express thankfulness to your inner wise one and slowly return to ordinary awareness, bearing this divine insight with you. Chapter 24. The Quantum Surge of Awareness. In a concealed grove unmarred by human touch, a larva gazed upon its echo in a dew droplet. Day after day it crept along branches, consuming leaf after leaf, unaware of its dormant capability. Then came the instant of yielding. The larva submitted to an inner summoning, wrapping itself in silken filaments. Within this cocoon, a wonder unfolded. What appeared as disintegration was actually renewal. And when the instant arrived, it emerged as a being of unimaginable elegance and liberty. Within you lies this same capacity for radical renewal. The quantum nature of awareness permits instantaneous adjustments that exceed gradual shift. Like the larva, you need not comprehend the procedure. You need only yield to the insight that calls you to evolve. These quantum surges occur when awareness expands beyond its familiar confines. In such instance, restrictions dissolve not through effort or battle, but through a simple adjustment in discernment. What once seemed unattainable becomes natural as your awareness syncs with higher frequencies of grasping. Deep within an old maze, a traveler had roamed for days, following endless twisting passages. Exhausted and disheartened, they paused to rest against a wall. As they shut their eyes, a subtle adjustment happened. They became aware of a gentle zephyr, barely discernible yet consistent. Following this whisper of air, they uncovered a concealed passage that led directly to the heart of the maze. What had seemed an endless voyage transformed into a direct trail, the instant they discerned what was previously invisible. This mirrors the nature of awareness renewal. The solutions you seek often dwell in plain sight, waiting for your awareness to expand enough to discern them. When you liberate old designs of thinking, new pathways reveal themselves effortlessly. Your voyage echoes this fact. Every restriction you encounter dwells only within your current framework of grasping. As your awareness expands, these barriers dissolve naturally, revealing the unlimited potential that has always been your birthright. Sacred practice. Sit in peaceful thought and identify one restricting conviction that has held you back. Inscribe this conviction on a piece of paper. Now shut your eyes and picture stepping through a gateway of radiance. On the other side dwells a version of you completely free from this restriction. Sense the lightness, the liberty, the natural ease of being this renewed version of yourself. Inhale this new reality, permitting it to integrate with your essence. When ready, open your eyes and tear the paper with your old conviction into pieces, symbolizing your quantum surge into expanded awareness. Chapter 25. Dwelling in harmony with the cosmic rules. In a distant highland settlement there dwelled an artisan renowned for forming tools of extraordinary elegance. Unlike others who forced their will upon wood and metal, this craftsman devoted hours watching the natural designs in his materials. When he uncovered a piece of wood, he would first listen to its inherent melody, sensing how it desired to resonate. Only then would he commence his labor following the grain, honoring the natural curves and textures. The tools he formed seemed to perform themselves, producing harmony that echoed the wind through trees and water over stones. The cosmos functions through unchanging tenets, much like the rules that govern melody and balance. These are not regulations imposed from without, but the very fabric of being itself. When you sync your deeds with these tenets, life streams with the same effortless elegance as a master craftsman's formation. Begin by watching the rhythm of your own essence. Note how your vitality streams throughout the day. Rather than battling against these natural cycles, labor with them. Schedule inventive tasks when your vitality rises, and contemplative labor when it naturally ebbs. Let your deeds mirror the efficiency of nature, where nothing is wasted and everything serves an intent. In your connections, practice the rule of exchange, not as a calculated trade, but as the natural stream of bestowing and acquiring. In your labor, embody the rule of origin and outcome by setting clear aims and taking synced deed. In your ideas, honor the rule of resonance by sustaining awareness of your sentimental frequency. Along the banks of an old stream, the water never battled to reach its endpoint. It simply followed the trail of least opposition, streaming around obstacles rather than fighting them. Over moments, even the hardest rock was shaped by this gentle persistence. The stream carved its course not through force, but through perfect harmony with natural rule. This stream mirrors your own voyage when you sync with cosmic tenets. Achievement becomes effortless, streaming as naturally as a brook down a mountainside. Opposition dissolves not through battle, but through grasping and cooperation with these timeless rules that have led seekers since the dawn of awareness. Your strength lies not in opposing these forces, but in moving in balance with them, just as a leaf dances with the gust, rather than fighting against it. By yielding to these eternal facts, you open yourself to the infinite insight that has always existed, waiting to lead those ready to acquire it. Sacred practice. Take an instant to reflect on the cosmic rules that govern all formation. Choose one that resonates deeply with you in this instant. Perhaps the rule of resonance exchange or origin and outcome. Inscribe 3 simple ways you can sync with this rule in your daily life. These need not be grand gestures. Even the smallest deeds, when synced with cosmic tenets, form ripples of balance that extend far beyond their apparent impact. Engage these harmonies for 7 days, watching how your encounter adjusts as you move in balance with the natural order. Chapter 26. The everlasting blaze of intent. In the ancient corridors of insight there dwelled a flame-bearer whose fire never faded. Night after night she would ascend the shrine steps, illuminating the way for wanderers seeking fact. What made her flame burn so bright was not the fuel she utilized, but the delight that radiated from her core as she served others. Those who passed her noted that even on the darkest nights, her light seemed to dance with an inner brilliance that exceeded mere fire. You too bear an inner blaze, a unique intent that yearns to illuminate not just your trail, but the voyage of others. When your wishes sync with this sacred summoning appearance, streams with supernatural ease. The cosmos replies differently to desires born from soul-deep calling than to those sparked by fleeting wants. Think of your wishes as brooks seeking to join a mighty stream. When these brooks sync with your life's intent, they gather tremendous force, carving new trails through seemingly impossible terrain. But when they stream against your true essence, they become stagnant pools trapped in endless circles of frustration. In the vast wilderness of life, a traveler lost their way. For days they roamed following random trails that led nowhere. Then they recalled the compass they bore, not an ordinary instrument, but one that pointed toward their heart's true north. As they followed its leading, the random trail became a meaningful voyage, and what seemed like endless roaming transformed into purposeful progression. Like this compass, your inner insight always points toward your authentic trail. When you sync your goals with this leading, obstacles become opportunities and coincidences convert into synchronicities. The cosmos conspires to support wishes that serve not just your expansion, but the elevation of all. This fact reveals itself in every facet of being. Note how plants naturally grow toward sunlight, how streams inevitably find their way to the sea. Your soul similarly yearns to express its highest intent. When you honor this calling, you tap into a strength greater than individual ambition. You become a channel for cosmic aim. Sacred practice. Take an instant now to quiet your intellect and listen to your heart's whispers. On a clean page, inscribe an intent statement that echoes your soul's deepest summoning. Begin with the words, "I am here to." Let the phrases stream naturally without judgment or editing. Then review your current wishes and goals. How do they sync with this intent? Which ones resonate with your soul's mission? And which ones might need gentle redirection? Recall, this is not about forsaking your wishes, but about syncing them with your highest fact. Chapter 27. The Ballet of Synchronicity. In a distant territory, a traveler roamed through winding avenues bearing only a small sack and an unspoken desire. As she strolled, a peculiar design emerged. A vendor's chime tinkled just as she thought of melody. A child's mirth echoed when delight filled her core, and a pigeon alighted nearby as she contemplated peace. Following these subtle markers, she realized they formed a trail leading to an old courtyard where beneath a weathered rock lay a chest of precious stones, exactly what she needed to fulfill her heart's wish. You hold the innate skill to recognize and interpret the sacred tongue of synchronicity. The cosmos speaks through meaningful alignments, interlacing designs that lead you toward your highest good. When you sync with cosmic timing, life streams with remarkable accuracy, bringing opportunities, links, and resources at the perfect instant. These synchronicities arise not by chance, but through your resonance with cosmic intelligence. Like invisible strands connecting seemingly random events, they disclose the underlying balance of being. Your aware focus on these designs reinforces their appearance in your life, forming a feedback loop of divine leading. In another tale, a master timekeeper devoted years perfecting a magnificent chronometer. Each cog, spring, and wheel moved in perfect synchronization, forming not just accurate moments, but a symphony of motion. The timekeeper grasped that forcing any component would disrupt the entire mechanism. Instead, she permitted each piece to find its natural rhythm, trusting in the inherent order of the whole. This insight applies to your voyage of appearance. Just as the timekeeper's formation required precise timing, your wishes unfold according to divine order. When you force results or oppose natural timing, you form friction. But when you trust the procedure and remain alert to synchronistic markers, you stream effortlessly toward your goals. The markers appear uniquely for each person, perhaps as recurring digits, chance meetings, or timely communications. These are not mere alignments, but cosmic confirmations of your harmony with universal forces. By acknowledging and acting upon these markers, you reinforce your link to divine leading. Sacred practice. Begin a synchronicity notebook recording the meaningful alignments that appear in your daily life. Note the moment, date, and circumstances of each occurrence with careful attention to detail. Pay special focus to designs that relate to your current aims and wishes, particularly those that seem to arise repeatedly or in unexpected ways. After 1 week, review your entries and reflect on how these markers might be leading you toward your goals. Study the links between seemingly unrelated events, for often the greatest insight lies in the spaces between alignments. Recall the cosmos speaks in whispers. Attune yourself to its subtle tongue through patient watching and an open core. This ritual of aware focus will strengthen your ability to recognize divine leading when it appears, permitting you to move more confidently along your destined trail. Trust that each synchronicity, no matter how small, bears profound meaning for your voyage. Chapter 28. Shattering the Bonds of Restriction. In the records of moments there dwelled a magnificent phoenix, who resided in a golden fortress of its own making. Blessed with the strength of eternal renewal, the phoenix dreaded the flames that would renew it. Each day it built elaborate defenses against the inevitable blaze, wrapping itself in layers of uncertainty and dread, until one day, exhausted by its opposition, it yielded to its true essence. In that instant of acceptance, the phoenix erupted into glorious flames, emerging more radiant than ever before. You stand at a similar threshold of renewal. The barriers that appear to constrain your potential dwell primarily in your ideas and convictions. These self-imposed restrictions dread of failure, uncertainty in your skills. Conviction and scarcity are like invisible bonds that bind your soul. The cosmos knows no restrictions. It functions in a domain of infinite opportunity, where plenty streams freely to those who sync with its essence. Your ideas of constraint are merely shadows cast by old convictions ready to dissolve in the radiance of awareness. Consider the tale of a rare melody bird born in captivity, who resided in an ornate enclosure. Though the gate remained unlatched, the bird never attempted to depart, believing the enclosure's boundaries defined the edges of being. One morning, a wild finch landed nearby, singing of vast heavens and endless horizons. In that instant, the melody bird recognized its enclosure as a deception. With one gentle push, it opened the gate and soared into liberty, uncovering its true essence in the limitless expanse of sky. Like this melody bird, you may have accepted certain restrictions as fact. Perhaps you convince success arrives only through battle, or that your aspirations are too grand to achieve. These are the bars of your enclosure, constructed of ideas reinforced by habit, yet ready to dissolve when you choose to see beyond them. Liberation commences with recognition, that pivotal instant when you first glimpse the bars of your mental enclosure. Each time you catch yourself saying, "I can't," or "it's impossible," you shine radiance on these self-imposed boundaries. These whispered restrictions that have shaped your reality. In doing so, you weaken their hold, like morning sun dissolving shadows, forming space for new opportunities to emerge. With each recognition comes a chance to choose again, to liberate an old constraint, and permit your soul to expand into previously unimagined realms of potential. Sacred practice. Take an instant to identify one restricting conviction that has held you back. Inscribe this conviction on a piece of paper, sensing its mass and constraint. Now, in an aware act of liberation, tear the paper into pieces. As you do so, declare, "I liberate this restriction, embracing my infinite potential." Gather the pieces and liberate them to the elements. Bury them in ground. Dissolve them in liquid, or burn them safely in blaze. Let this bodily act represent your soul's liberation from self-imposed bounds. Chapter 29. The Command of Inner Quietude. In the core of an old valley, there lay a pond so still that its face mirrored the skies with perfect clarity. Nomads would journey from distant territories seeking its waters, yet many would pass by without seeing its true enchantment. Those who paused long enough realized that in its pristine echo, they could view not just the sky, but facts about themselves that had remained concealed in the rushing currents of daily life. You hold within you such a pond of awareness. When your intellect becomes still like these sacred waters, it echoes the infinite insight of the cosmos. Yet, in the constant motion of ideas, concerns, and wishes, this mirror becomes rippled, distorting your discernment of reality. The craft of quietude exceeds mere bodily silence. It is a state of essence where the ceaseless chatter of the intellect subsides, disclosing the profound quiet that has always dwelled beneath the surface. In this quiet, you access the very source of formation where all opportunities reside. An astute ascetic once sat beneath an old tree, remaining motionless from dawn until dusk. Settlers would gather, curious about his intent. Some claimed he was wasting moments, Others insisted he had lost his intellect. But as the seasons elapsed, they noted how avians would nest in his vicinity, how wildlife would graze peacefully nearby, and how even the most troubled souls found peace in his existence. The ascetic had uncovered that in perfect quietude, he became one with the cosmic awareness, permitting insight and balance to stream through him naturally. Your voyage into quietude begins with a single inhalation, an instant of aware existence. Like the ascetic, you need not journey to distant highlands or secluded caverns. The gateway to inner peace dwells wherever you choose to become still. In these instants of tranquility, the whispers of cosmic insight become audible, leading you toward harmony with your highest intent. Sacred practice. Locate a comfortable stance where you can remain undisturbed and gently shut your eyes. For 5 sacred minutes, permit your attention to rest softly on your inhalation like a feather settling on still water. Watch its natural rhythm, the gentle rise and fall, the ebb and flow without any wish to change or control it. When ideas inevitably arise, as they always do, acknowledge them with compassion, watching them drift by like clouds across the vast sky of your awareness. Return again and again to the sanctuary of your inhalation, this eternal anchor to the present instant. In this profound quietude sense, the existence of infinite insight that has always resided within you, waiting patiently to be uncovered. Let this ancient knowledge stream through you as naturally as the inhalation itself, for you are linking to the same divine intelligence that moves the stars and leads the seasons. Chapter 30. The Restricted Portal. In the core of an old mountain, there dwelled a seeker who devoted years studying sacred writings and gathering insight. One moonlit night, while meditating in a forgotten shrine, the seeker noted a faint golden radiance emanating from what appeared to be solid rock. As they approached, their accumulated knowledge resonated with the wall, disclosing an ornate portal that had remained invisible to countless others who had passed before. Through this mystical gateway lay a domain where idea manifested instantly into shape, where the air itself sparkled with inventive potential. The seeker had not uncovered a new realm, but rather viewed the existing one through awakened eyes. You stand now at a similar threshold. The knowledge you have gathered is not meant to remain as mere grasping, but to convert into living insight. Each inhalation you take can become an act of aware formation. Every idea a grain sown in fertile cosmic soil. The tenets of metaphysics are not abstract notions to be thought from afar. They are living forces waiting to be embodied through your very essence. Like the seeker who uncovered the concealed portal, you hold the key to viewing reality through renewed eyes. Consider the tale of the shaper who devoted decades mastering their craft. One day, while sitting at their circle, they realized that the substance, their hands, and their aim had become one unified force. There was no division between originator and formation. In that instant of perfect unity, they crafted a container of such elegance that those who beheld it were moved to tears. This story mirrors your own potential, for within you lies the same inventive force that guided the shaper's hands. As you integrate these teachings into your daily life, permitting them to permeate your ideas and deeds, the distinction between spiritual ritual and ordinary dwelling dissolves like morning mist in the sunlight. Every instant becomes an opportunity for aware formation. Every interaction, a chance to embody cosmic fact. Every inhalation, an invitation to merge with the infinite insight that streams through all things. You too will realize that the sacred and mundane are one and the same, waiting to be recognized through renewed eyes. Sacred practice. Position before a portal in your dwelling, taking an instant to imbue it with symbolic meaning. Let it represent the threshold between knowledge and embodiment, between learning and becoming. Take 3 deep inhalations, permitting each exhale to liberate any remaining uncertainties or hesitations. When ready, utter these phrases aloud. I step forward now as an aware originator, embodying the sacred tenets that govern all being. As you pass through the portal, sense yourself crossing into a new state of essence, where these teachings live through your every deed. Complete this ceremony by contacting your core center, acknowledging the insight that now streams through you naturally and effortlessly. Conclusion. Through these holy pages, you have traversed domains of ancient insight, uncovering facts that have remained concealed from those not yet prepared to discern them. The knowledge you now cling to is not mere data, but living insight that courses through your very essence. Like the transmuters of old who converted base elements into treasure, you have transmuted grasping into embodied strength. The enigmas you have met are now yours to carry forth. Each tenet, each ritual, each revelation serves as a key unlocking portals to realities that most believe dwell only in visions. You have learned that the cosmos replies not to what you desire, but to what you embody, to the resonance you sustain, to the awareness you nurture. Remember that this text found you at the perfect instant when your soul was ready to acquire its teachings. The insight contained within these pages has been waiting for innumerable ages, transmitted through generations of seekers who dared to peer beyond the veil of ordinary discernment. Now you join their ranks, bearing forward the flame of renewal. As you conclude this book, know that its teachings will continue to unfold within you, like grains sown in fertile ground. They will expand and flower in ways you cannot yet envision. The rituals you have learned are not meant to remain confined to instants of quiet reflection, but to infuse every inhalation, every idea, every deed with the strength of aware formation. You stand now as both learner and teacher, for those who witness your renewal will naturally be drawn to the radiance you emit. Without uttering a phrase, your very existence will rouse others to their own potential. This is the way of true insight. It spreads not through declaration, but through the quiet strength of example. The cosmos awaits your aware participation in its endless ballet of formation. You have been initiated into knowledge that few dare to seek, yet which remains eternally available to those who would claim it. Every instant offers a fresh opportunity to apply these tenets to shape reality according to your loftiest vision. Remember that command is not a destination, but a voyage of endless unfolding. Each day brings new chances to deepen your grasping, to refine your ritual, to expand your awareness. The strength you now cling to is both a gift and a duty. Use it wisely, with compassion for all beings, knowing that as you elevate yourself, you elevate the entire realm. If you enjoyed this exclusive audiobook, I handpick this next book, which will change your life.